Imagine walking through an abandoned hospital where thousands of patients once suffered and died. Shadows drift across empty hallways, whispers echo through the dark, and some claim to see a terrifying figure known as the Creeper crawling along the walls. This is Waverly Hills Sanatorium, a place whispered to be one of the most haunted asylums in the world. But is it truly haunted, or is it simply the echoes of a tragic history, amplified by our own fear? Our story begins in Louisville, Kentucky. The year is 1910, and the world is in the grip of a devastating tuberculosis epidemic, the White Plague. To combat the crisis, Waverly Hills was built. It started as a small two-story building, but soon grew into the massive Gothic-style structure we know today, a self-contained city designed to house hundreds of patients at a time. In an era before antibiotics, the treatments were often experimental and brutal. Patients were subjected to heliotherapy, where they were wheeled onto open-air porches, exposed to the elements year-round, in the belief that fresh air could cure them. For the most desperate cases, doctors resorted to surgically removing ribs and muscles or inserting balloons into the lungs to force them to expand. These procedures were agonizing and had a very low success rate. At the height of the epidemic, death was a constant presence at Waverly Hills. It's estimated that as many as 60,000 people died within its walls, though historical records suggest the number is likely closer to several thousand. With so much death, the staff faced a grim problem: how to remove the bodies without causing panic among the living patients. Their solution was as ingenious as it was chilling. They constructed a 500-foot underground tunnel, originally built for staff and supplies, to transport the deceased discreetly from the hospital to the waiting hearses at the bottom of the hill. This passage quickly earned a terrifying nickname, the Death Tunnel. Today, it stands as one of the most infamous features of the sanatorium, a dark concrete artery that once flowed with the silent procession of the dead. After the discovery of antibiotics rendered tuberculosis treatable, Waverly Hills closed its doors in 1961. It reopened briefly as a geriatric facility but was shut down again in 1981 amid reports of patient abuse and neglect, adding another layer of suffering to its already dark history. The building was then abandoned, left to decay for decades, its empty halls slowly filling with stories of the paranormal. It's these stories that draw thousands of visitors and paranormal investigators to Waverly Hills every year. They come seeking proof of the afterlife, and many claim to find it. The building is said to be alive with unexplained activity. Footsteps are heard echoing in empty corridors where no one is walking. Doors slam shut on their own with bone-jarring force. Disembodied voices are captured on audio recorders, whispering names or crying out in pain. Shadow figures are frequently seen darting through doorways or lingering at the end of long, dark hallways, disappearing the moment you turn to get a better look. Among the countless spirits said to roam these halls, a few have become legendary. There's the spirit of a little boy named Timmy, who's often seen and heard playing on the third floor. Visitors will leave bowls and toys out for him, and some report seeing the balls roll on their own, as if pushed by an unseen hand. Then there is the tragic tale of the nurse on the 5th floor. The story goes that she was unmarried and pregnant, and in her despair, she took her own life in room 502. Visitors to this room report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness, seeing shadowy figures, and hearing a female voice whispering, "Get out." But perhaps the most terrifying entity reported at Waverly Hills is the one known simply as the Creeper. This is a dark, humanoid-shaped mass that has been seen crawling along the floors, walls, and even the ceilings of the sanatorium. Its movements are described as unnatural and spider-like, a truly horrifying sight that has left even seasoned investigators shaken to their core. Is it the manifestation of a tormented soul or something else entirely? Then there's the 5th floor. This area was reserved for the mentally ill tuberculosis patients, and it's considered the most active and menacing part of the building. Here, people report seeing apparitions of patients with vacant eyes, hearing blood-curdling screams echoing from the isolation rooms, and feeling an intense, oppressive energy that seems to cling to the very air. Many visitors refuse to enter this floor alone, claiming the feeling of being watched is just too overwhelming. This is the haunting version of the story, the one that has made Waverly Hills a global icon of the paranormal. But what if there's another explanation? Skeptics offer a more grounded, psychological perspective. They argue that the building's tragic history and sheer number of deaths created a fertile ground for ghost stories to grow and spread over time. It's a classic case of a legend feeding on itself. The building's architecture is inherently spooky. It's a dark, decaying sanatorium with long, echoing hallways, peeling paint and broken furniture. Our brains are hardwired to find patterns and see faces in shadows, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. In a place like Waverly Hills, our senses are already on high alert, and it's easy for our minds to play tricks on us. A gust of wind becomes a whisper. A shifting shadow becomes a ghostly figure. The power of suggestion is also incredibly strong. When you go on a ghost tour, you are primed to experience something supernatural. Guides tell you the stories of Timmy, the nurse, and the creeper. They point to specific hotspots where activity is frequently reported. With these expectations set, it's not surprising that many visitors interpret normal, natural occurrences like creaking floors or temperature drops as paranormal events. The death tunnel, while undeniably eerie, was a practical solution to a grim reality, not a supernatural portal. The countless stories of hauntings are often passed down without any concrete evidence, becoming more legend than documented fact with each retelling. Today, Waverly Hills is a major hub for paranormal tourism. It hosts public and private ghost hunts, drawing in thrill seekers, ghost hunters, and curious tourists from all over the world. The business of being haunted is booming. This commercialization leads critics to question the authenticity of the claims. Are the stories being exaggerated to sell tickets? Are tour guides, consciously or not, encouraging belief to enhance the visitor experience? It's a valid question to consider. So we are left with two compelling possibilities. The first is that Waverly Hills Sanatorium is exactly what it appears to be. One of the most haunted places on earth, a repository of psychic energy filled with the restless souls of the thousands who suffered and died there. The echoes of their pain are so strong that they have imprinted themselves on the building forever, reaching out from beyond the grave. The second possibility is that Waverly Hills is a tragic historical site, a monument to a dark chapter in medical history. Its legends are not born of ghosts, but of human grief, memory, and the powerful influence of fear and suggestion. The building isn't haunted by spirits, but by its own heartbreaking past. The building still stands today, a silent, imposing figure on the hill, holding its secrets close. Some who walk its halls leave profoundly shaken, convinced they've had a genuine encounter with the other side. Others walk away entirely unconvinced, seeing only a fascinating, dilapidated relic of history. The truth, perhaps, lies somewhere in between. So what do you think? Is Waverly Hills truly haunted, or is it simply haunted by its own history? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more mysteries. Thanks for watching.